Good morning from Glasgow on this stunning January morning, and right over there we see the sun emerging in the sky. Sunrise officially was about an hour ago, but as we're on the other side of those buildings we don't see it so well, but we feel it, and it's just an amazing day. I was reflecting on the absolutely remarkable clouds this morning, and I think that if I was a shaman or something like that, I would probably be able to read them, because every day they do something different and they just tell the most remarkable stories. And when you live in an urban area, sometimes you forget about the nature that exists, like the sky. And so just reaching your gaze upwards, like right now there are loads of birds up there, but like way high up, and it just gives some sense of perspective, because I think sometimes we can feel when we're in urban areas that like the city is sitting upon our heads, as it were. And so just this expanse of sky is just absolutely inspiring, absolutely inspiring. And it's done amazing things this morning, amazing colors and textures and the light, and really truly extraordinary. I was dancing for three things today. The first thing was my friend, who is going through a hard time with her ex-partner, and I said, I'll dance for you. She said, no, it's okay, I'll be fine, it's all the... I think it's really interesting because, you know, sometimes we feel like we have to be so strong. We feel like we don't want to put that upon somebody else, and especially on our friends, but that's what friends are for, so I danced for you anyway. and it's difficult, you know, when you've been intimately involved with someone, for then things to go sour as they do for various and complex reasons. For every single story there's something different, but there is that sense often from one or both partners of not really wanting to let go, and I think that sense of just dancing your own story, as it were, and being happy in yourself, and even though the familiarity of what was might have been very destructive and unhealthy, it's still familiar, and so lots of times we cling on to that because there is a sense of security in the familiarity, albeit in not such a healthy way. So I danced some energy of feeling really free in yourself, I suppose that is, and hoping that both of those individuals can release that connection and just feel really good about being in their own space. And then a friend of mine is planning a remarkable event at the tramway for International Women's Day, and she is very keen for it to be an ensemble event within the context of the planning. It's the 100th anniversary of International Women's Day on March 8th. I'm doing something on March 6th to allow for the working people to participate in a dance, sort of flash mob, silent disco thing. If you want to get involved in that, contact me. But she's very keen for it to stay with that authentic spirit of connection and women's stories and joy and sharing, rather than, it's not her, she feels very strongly it's not her event, she's facilitating it. So she's trying to, she is facilitating it in a way that is very womanly, which is more about relationships as opposed to a linear kind of boss man kind of way. And so she asked if I could dance for that flow. So I did that, which was really interesting. It was this whole thing of women coming in. I felt like it's this idea of women coming into our bodies and into our stories and really claiming ourselves. And again, anytime I talk about this, everyone's like, it's not an anti-man thing. I really like men. It's just that it's about empowering. I want to empower everyone, and that is the context that women are unfortunately have been born into and over time have faced, you know, the struggle, and in particular within the context of our bodies, and which is one of the reasons another reason I feel like dancing like this is really important. And the third thing is I had a request to dance for spring. Now, I have some thoughts on that, because it's January, right? I mean, that is the wish, but I'm going to reinterpret it into something else, because obviously I looked it up. Okay, here we are in January. I love this about Scottish people. Anytime I say, oh yeah, I've been living here for 11 years, and they always go, oh, but the weather, like 11 years and 1 month ago, it was a San Diego climate here, and I missed it. So like for millennia, we had, it seems like the way they talk about it, it was perfect weather here for an awfully long time, until I came, and then we got Scottish weather, which is gray and damp a lot of the time. And they say it like it's gonna come back. And I find that really amusing, because obviously that is an illusion. Although I do appreciate the Glasgow, Bahamas mentality, which leads many, especially on Friday nights, to dress in very little clothing with some spray tan and whatnot on our streets from those obviously are those tropical rays that miraculously come through, but I miss them. But anyway, but the point being, so spring. Like, I don't want to mess with the weather really, because I think we're having enough problems with the environment, Mr. D. But I understand within the context of what he's actually talking about, because there is, or there can be, this, as I said, especially in, I think in particular in urban environments, this sense of, in the wintertime, it's not anti-nature, it's like against our intuition, sort of anti-instinctual, it's like, or whatever, to be doing anything in the winter outside of like sitting around a fire and telling stories and things like this. But of course we get very busy in the winter time, and then the weather comes along, which kind of makes us slow down, and we go, we'll do this like this, exactly like that actually. And interestingly, like doing this practice, as I have been doing for the past year now, and in particular in October, November, December, time when we had snow and things like this, and I just said, well, I'm gonna dance no matter what. It changes, for me, it changed my kind of relationship to the idea of weather and seasons, because it meant I had to adapt in order to engage with that world. And so, and I think that's a really healthy thing, actually. And as I've always said, it's not bad weather, it's bad wardrobe. And that's something I'm very good at that right now. So, but however, I understand what he means within the context of when spring does come, and spring in Scotland is, like Ireland, is the most extraordinarily beautiful time, because it's so wet here, and when the sun does come out and does get warm, the green here is magnificent. It is, you can feel the life in the air, and I feel that is more what people crave within the context of when they're longing for spring. It's not really the physical manifestation of that. What it is the internal thing that goes along with it. Everyone seems happier, there is more ease in movement, there is, it just seems to be a nicer time. But in actual fact, what really changes is the people are living within that. Now, on another note, the word spring, which of course we can think of is related, like the idea of springing, is related to that word leap, which is related to the word dance, interestingly. The root of the word dance derives from a word which means to leap or to hop. So, in a very roundabout way, I was dancing for spring today, although that's a bit of an oxymoron, synonym, whatever. They're the same. Dance and spring, same thing. So there you go. So if you dance, you bring a little spring into the world already. So I leave you with that one. And if you have any wishes, please email me, text me, call me, tell me on the street, pass me little notes, and I'll see you tomorrow. Now I do today. Oh, that's a little close. Sorry about that. Today Dana has joined me as well. She's down there. Maybe we'll go down there and see. Oh, it's a long post for me today. See if she has anything to say. Maybe I'll pause it for a minute. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well.
Did you have a good dance?
I did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Great. All right, I'll let you get back to it. I have to go. So,
Okay.
bye.